Welcome to episode 4 of the FD podcast. Thank you for the short hiatus while I had the birth of my son, Fox. This one's a little bit different as we had tremendous feedback from the first podcast. And a lot of what we do on my brand, which is the Francis Diet, is try to orchestrate people to not fuck themselves, which is the common trend with society at the moment, where people get themselves in all sorts of a mess and they don't know the way out. And part of that is the accountability model we follow, which you'll have found with Dr. Emily, you'll have found with Honest Life Coach Andy, and that's the theme of most of the podcast, is at what point does your life become something you need to be accountable for? So most of the feedback was get Alanna back, but talk about the plan, the diet, and a lot of the constraints we'll go through, because Alanna is our client liaison and super athlete, mum, leader, and I think a lot of these subjects will help you and the brand, so it's double-edged. So welcome back, Alanna.
Hi there, we are back.
Can you see her cheekbones?
Yeah,
she's in top shape compared to the last podcast. I'm not as fat. So today, we're going to talk about a lot of what I think irks us, because we can, because it's my podcast, and also solutions. Because what we find is, when we do, Alanna does daily stories, which everyone loves. I do my own videos, but I think because they're perishable and not everyone sees your stories, I mean, my engagement fell by 50% this year in terms of the stories. And I think the things get lost and they get missed. So what we're going to do is we've got some pre-designed questions, and we've also got some questions come through on Instagram this morning.
Yeah.
And we're going to shoot from the hip. And I told her, there's no limit now to what we're going to say and how we're going to say it. So if this does offend you, it probably should. It doesn't offend you, we probably haven't worked hard enough. So should we go through some Instagram ones first, then the ones I think we've done, because I think they might cross over.
Okay. Okay, so I think diet mindset and discipline tips is I think mindset. I think everyone wants to get on plan, and then they fall at the first hurdle. They think they're going to be disciplined. They think they're going to lock into this mindset, but they just sort of lose their bottle on the first week or two.
Do you think, I was having a conversation with a client yesterday, and I said to him, he said, I found this week really hard. And I said, I'm not aware that anything that's meant to break a cycle or a habit was meant to be easy. So I think part of it is people, they see you and they see, she lost. The one I get when people say, I really want to start. How much can I lose in the first month? And I'm really honest. I say, potentially nothing, because you could be shit. I get people, and funny enough, it is the profile. The people that say they're going to smash it never do. And the people that don't know tend to come in and tick the boxes and get it done. But do you think it's because people are, to quote a few, soft, and they just don't have the backbone to do the change? Or do you think people come in with an unrealistic expectation of what they can, do?
I think it's unrealistic, and I think it is that. I think it is always the dark horses. It's the people that acquire, they come in and they just take it all in. And I was one of them people. I didn't ever think it was going to be easy. And I do.
You were very unassuming, to be honest.
I didn't really know what to expect. And I so many people this week, they're like week one, and it's like, week one's quite easy. And it should be, really, because you've got a lot of food.
The thing is, because we do a completely open program, meaning, you can just do nothing and diet, or you can do HIIT workouts, or you can walk. I get lost when people say, week one was so confusing and hard. I'm like, it is actually nothing but prepare your food. If they read the Barcon Packs, which we've redone about 85 times. So do you think it is the fact that people aren't like you and they come in with this kind of like, I need to change everything, I need to do everything, and the first time they go through any kind of pushback, because we do get people who join and they pay good money and they never even check in once.
Yeah.
And they ghost. I had one the other day, I literally sent them a message to say what's happened, and the picture went. So she's obviously not even had the guts to say I struggled or I'd not contacted Alanna or anyone. So do you think people go in with the wrong mindset to diet?
Yeah, I think so. And I just don't think they want to put in the graft. I think it's so easy to look at that before and after photo.
It's romantic to think of the result, isn't it?
Yeah, and just go, I want a bit, the people that, I want a bit of that. How much did you, when they ask me, and I'm like 2 stone in 10 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And as soon as then words come out of their mouth, I think, do you know what? You are undermining the process. And like I say, it's always the dark horses. It's the people that come in, they'll ask a lot of questions. They'll always apologise and go, I don't want to keep asking you. And I'm like, I don't care how many times I've got to explain something to you, how many times I've got to break it down, as long as you get what we need to do. And they are the people that are always the best ones. They lose the most weight. They send their check-ins. They're happy to stay on, if we have to do things the same because they're losing a shit ton of weight. And they don't want all this change. It's the Amazon people that want 100 changes. They're kicking back. They're not taking anything in. These are the people that fuck up. And these are the people that fall down. And for me, myself, it's like I'd read everything 100 times over. I would do it. And I did. I cried on nearly every workout, Scott. I used to grab my stomach and be like, how have you let yourself get like this?
Isn't that, I say this to a lot of people, isn't one woman, none of these describe anyone, so it's not like anyone will get butthurt. She messaged me and said, can we work on my motivation? And I sent her a picture back. I went, motivated. Yeah. When I lost everything, sofa surfing, my bank balance was an instant mirroring of the failings that got me to get off my arse and walk to the gym and sell supplements and do everything. So I said to her, and she went, oh yeah, can you give me some words of encouragement? I went, the picture, like, I said, what? I said, I'm publicly not a motivation coach. I'm not going to, if you're skint, I'll never have to tell you to be motivated to make money. Yeah. I'll just teach you the path to make money. So do you think then that where you were ready to accept the process, whatever it was, because I think we can probably talk about a million of the points we've had all in the same, because things kind of offshoot, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you think where you came in, and like, and funny enough, nearly every ambassador, without probably reason, came in and said, I'll just do what you tell me to do. That's the key, not coming in with this kind of like, I know what I can do, I know what I have to do, I'm going to do 2 stone in 6 weeks. Because this woman basically told me everything that she should internally have as the reason to diet. I said to her, you can't get naked in front of your partner. Why do I have to reaffirm that? That should be burning desire number 1. Yeah.
That's just basics, that desire, and, like the whole motivation thing. If you can't motivate yourself, I done a good morning this week, and it was, like about, the Easter people that were like, oh, I just want an egg, or, and they're a week 1, week 2 in, but they're wanting to go back to their old shitty habits. And I said to this one woman, but was that making you happy? Go and stand in the mirror with that Easter egg in your underwear and watch yourself eat that food. And I did get a bit of flack for this. And it isn't body shamming, because I've been there and I've been that person. If I had to stand and eat the cake in my greedy little fat hands and watch myself eat it, I'd have been like, that was my motivation.
Like, the reason, and I tell, obviously different staff will tell me, oh, Scott, can I say this? I'm like, yeah, because it's the same way. If someone came in this office now and they were skint and they'd been to a financial advisor and they were told to rein it in, and they turn around and go, oh, on the weekend it's my bar mitzvah, I need to spend £3,000 on a dress, you'd be like, the fuck are you doing? How will that dress make you feel better than the shape you're in now? You need to, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's people financially bankrupt talking about spending money when they shouldn't and thinking it's okay.
Yeah, and you get a really bad rap with it in the fitness industry if you're stating the obvious when it's someone overweight and they want to lose weight and you're trying to show that reflection. It's just so weird, isn't it, that you will get like, people will come at you, but you're just stating the obvious. And
but it's something that I'm baffled you have to state. I mean, there's a lady the other day, she's, without having to put a floor on what way you should be, she's at least 8 stone overweight. Mm. Any other health profile would improve. And she was like, oh, my boyfriend and I are thinking about a holiday next month. I went, why the fuck would you be booking a holiday? Save and accept the fact that she wants to get away from the life she clearly doesn't like. But I said to her, if you go away and blip, which people will know, 100% of everyone who has a problem with their weight and dieting goes on holiday and fucks it. Yeah. Everyone. I've never had a client ever go away and maintain any habit they didn't have, because holiday is potentially the hardest thing ever to maintain a habit, even if you are in shape.
Yeah.
And I said to her, but the mindset, why would you possibly want to deter from this process you're winning at?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, but I think it'll help me. I said, in how? Oh. And that's the thing I struggle with, and I know you struggle with, is why people can't embed in the process for their own good.
Yeah.
Why we get the whole, another lady this week, yesterday, I said to you, she said, oh, she's 2 weeks in, she's overweight. She's lost, I think, 10 pounds in 2 weeks. She said, next week, we're going to book a holiday. Can I drink that week? And I messaged you, and I do. I people don't see the conversations. I'd be shocked. And I say, just fucking deal with this. But like, Why would you want to drink alcohol all week when you've got a problem with your weight and you're in a process where you're losing weight that you pay good money for? It's honestly akin to someone who's skint, who's been given a job and then saying, hey, can I go blow some money?
Yeah. It is, and it's wild, and it's, people are signing up for 8 to 10 weeks. I tell them the story of I've done 2 stone in 10 weeks, and within that 10 weeks, they're asking if they can go off plan, but I'm going to eat in moderation. But you ain't in moderation all your life. What makes you think week 2 week for any of them 10 weeks? If you can't lock down, shut off the noise, you need to ingrain their habits. And you've been out of shape all them years, but you think that by week 2, week 3, you're going to nail it. Within that 10 weeks, I'd scrapped everything that was in my plans. We were coming out of lockdown, so it didn't have too much temptation there. But it was a case of, I need to stick to the rules. And if people think they're going to join the plan and in any of that time block, they can go to an event and eat in moderation or eat good. I think that other thing is, I will eat good, but you're not going to stick to your eating good is you stick to our plan. You stick to the food, you weigh your food. You're going to go there and weigh your food, or you're going to take your Tupperware, or you're going to eat before you go. So I think booking holidays, nights out, anything other than you just knuckling down and ingraining them habits within the diet and the fitness is just a no-go. And if you think you're missing out...
Well, this again gets me. I just had a baby a month ago, and everything has changed. Our social calendar, the things even I can do. Shout out to my wife, who's an absolute unit of sleepless nights in action. But we didn't try and do anything social right now. It's not even thinking about it. If you started a new business tomorrow, you wouldn't even think of buying a new house in that time. So what makes people think, and again, it must be wild to me because I don't adopt any new project in life with this mentality, that they can break it straight away.
Yeah.
And why you would want to, I'm not cheap and our results aren't shit. And all our results purposefully are marketed the same way. This person had to say no to events for 8 weeks. This person had to say no to alcohol. Why they then they kind of push back, don't they? They go, well, this is very strict. I'm like, motherfucker, it's written in your pack so many times. I'm autistic and I'm dyslexic. It's written so even I get it.
Mm. Yeah. And then it is building foundations. If you're not going to build a house on a shit foundation.
And that's what they are. I say to people, you're a shit dieter.
Yeah.
Stop doing shit diet things when you're given a path to not be shit.
Yeah. And it is simple to follow. And it is, I think it's painful because some of these people have waited a long time to get on plan. They've got on plan and they want to fuck it within 30 seconds of being on it. But they're looking at that picture, that before and after, and they're catapulting into 10 weeks' time, but they're not doing the groundwork.
It's like another thing I think you've got on the point here that we call them the birthday cake crew. Hi, Scott. It's again, and I'm going to say this to offend. My daughter's 14, and I actively said to her, I think a few years ago, I said, babe, on your birthday when you have your cake, do you mind if Daddy has some or not? And she literally looked at me perplexed, as if to say, I don't even know what you're asking. We get people whose kids are 2 and 3, and they go, Mum, my daughter wants me to have a piece of cake. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you want that piece of cake. You're still in greedy ass mentality. Oh, well, it'll help. How will a piece of cake help your day? If not off to push your cravings back up, you could possibly binge, because people out think, when I was Scott, I had a piece of cake, then I just had another bit of slice I had to have. But it's the premise that you can't say no to a piece of fucking cake on a 3-year-old's birthday because you want to get in shape. People talk about profiling a lot, police profile criminals. We can profile by now, and we talk about it all the time. We know when someone's going to be shit. Not by just by the fact that you'll get people say to you, they say, oh, it's my, don't know. It's a work event. I've got to go out for dinner. Can I just, and I'm like, there's fish and chicken and veg on every menu under the sun. Oh yeah, well, Clara will be offended. I'm like, I'm from a family of business people. I've been on countless client dinners. No one apart from the Japanese in Japan give a flying fuck what's on your plate as long as you're there. But it's the narrative to try and convince us to let them do what they want to do because they're greedy or they've got no discipline.
Yeah, completely.
That is what it is.
It's just an excuse, and I think it's a way
I want late, so I have to use my son's third triple maths lesson celebration to have one.
Yeah.
Leave the cake, you're fat.
Yeah. It is. We're always going to get it around Christmas, around Easter, around birthdays. Or, like I had a lady the other day and she's like, but it's a nan's 90th. And I was like, why? You're there to celebrate that occasion. How brilliant, your nan's 90. You don't need the cake and crap. Well, I would have so much respect. I think it's, especially nowadays, everyone wants to get on a health mission. It's so much more acceptable that you could go with your prep food. I feel like there's never been a better time to be looking after yourself. And I think it would get more respect for me. I wouldn't get mollycoddle. I can't speak today.
Mollycoddle. Well, I watched Dodge Woodall's podcast, Dodge's Next Client, Roger Woodall, shout out. And he had Alex Reid on. And Alex straight away said, you're obviously in shape, you look after yourself, you're disciplined. And he said, Bod said, yeah, I won't work with anyone who's not in shape because I know and there's never been a better time to be fashionably in shape. And I don't want to use that, but someone said to me the other day, have you ever been out of shape? I said, not in my life, because I would assume people think my shit's falling down all over the place. So when these people say to me, I'm so out of shape, can I go without it? I say to them, why wouldn't it be default that you turn down the drink or the cake?
Yeah.
Why isn't that the first thing? And you do, obviously, we have droves of clients say to us, like Scott, I was offered to go to my friend's engagement party and I said, I'm not drinking, I'm bringing my food. They're the people that win because it was default for them to assume that, and I say this, and this is another point that I've got, if you don't sacrifice something, you are not going to be like any of us because everything comes with sacrifice. And it's these people that they sign up, don't they? And they say, but I still want to go on these 2 holidays. I still want to drink. And I'm like, so you want to be exactly as you are now, but be like all of us. And all of us don't do that.
Yeah.
Or definitely didn't when we got in shape.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like, especially with the amount of people that are on your page now, the people that tag you in, that they're going to the cinema, they've got their prep food. They're going on this occasion and they've got their prep food. It's not like we're all we're hiding what we're doing. Everyone's so open of this is how we stay in shape. So they see what we all do. I've had my daughter's, so I'm giving you 4 years next month. I haven't had my daughter's birthday cake in 4 years. And I've had so many people go, about that. It does not make
do.
This is it completely. I can go to Alton Towers, I can go on a holiday. And yeah, I do that, but people think it's not living. But if you are hiding in a mummy dress and you're hiding every summer and you're not running around after your kids being active, to me, you are living a much more sheltered life than me.
I say to
passing on birthday cake.
I bet you, and I said this was going to hold bad, so it is. I bet you the people that have the drink at the party in Spiral, that have the cake and can't hold their appetite, look like shit naked, have a shit sex life, don't feel good about themselves, edit their pictures. So that for me is a living hell.
Yeah.
So if me not living is sacrificing how I look 24/7, how I feel 24/7, the clothes I can wear 24/7, how fit I feel. One of the nurses, when I did chest to chest with Fox, one of the male nurses went, fucking, are you in good shape for your age? I was like, yeah, of course. And I've got a son who I have to show up for. So if not living is doing the shit that out of shape people do, then sign me up for life.
Yeah.
I don't need cake. And that's the bit that bizarres me out. I say to people, I won't do any business which doesn't have a pro cost, opportunity cost for me. So I got offered to sponsor a football team the other day, £1,000 logo side. I said, will I get 1,500 or £2,000 back? He went, no, you just get your name on a shirt. I said, so if I put that into a high interest account at 4%, 8% Vanguard, I'll get £80 back or £100 back at the end of the year. With you, I lose that, but you want me to promote something that doesn't need promotion. So, and he looked and went, oh, actually, it doesn't make business sense. I said, no, if you just want me to give you money just to have a cool T-shirt with my thing on, that's fine. But if you want to be a businessman, think like a businessman. Same with this cake thing. What is the cake going to do? Is your child going to be 50% happier because you ate cake? No, they don't give a shit at all, ever. You want the cake. Just be honest. And if you're honest, we'll tell you that's a broken mindset. But that's the thing, Alanna. People don't want to hear that. The reason you can't say no to alcohol is you're dependent. The reason you can't say no to the party is you can't be lonely on your own. It's like people who get in relationships all the time, and I say to them, the reason you actually have shit relationships is you can't sit at home for 6 months on your own and build.
Yeah.
And you reach out for that person who you know isn't good for you because you can't be lonely. So the actual problem is you being lonely, and they go, I'm like, well, but it's the same with this. I said, anything any of you can't give up instantly, you've got a problem with.
Yeah.
My dad loves we invest in whiskey, big drinker. I'm not anymore, but he is. But he says, I could stop drinking today forever. And if you can't say no to a children's birthday cake or that, and it irks them, they go, what do you mean it's only cake? I'm like, but it's the only cake mentality you have to shift. If I could never have cake again, I wouldn't give a fuck. I get my daughter a better present, not that she would give a shit that I had cake anyway.
Yeah. And it's not like you don't even know what it tastes like, but it's like,
motherfucker, you had too much cake.
You've had years of cake and it's made you the way that you are. But it is, you need to rein it in and rebuild. And for me,
It's an addiction.
Yeah, it is an addiction. And I was a sugar fiend. I was the biggest sugar fiend. Yeah. And it is my Achilles heel. Even if you said to me, right, you could go and have that, and that, I'd probably go, do you know what? That's going to trigger me. We're going to be on a merry munch. Can we, give me something else? I'd rather have another 100, 200 grams of chicken, which I really would now, because I know that's going to fill me up. The sugar will just trigger me. As soon as you start adding that in, and these people are wild to think within that 10 weeks that they can have a little bit of this or a little bit of moderation. Moderation didn't get you the body that you've got.
No. And I say to people, if you could do moderation, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's like the reason people need financial advisors. They never go back in and go, oh, mate, why are you cutting down my £80 worth of cost a week? You knew you shouldn't be spending. And it's funny, I did that video on TikTok about Easter eggs.
Yeah.
You're not living, you know, people live. 3 other people who said that came back this week to re-sign up because they had the egg behind my back and fucked it. And I went, no, you can't join because you clearly don't trust what I say as an expert. And one got a bit mad and said, oh, we're only human. I said, but I told you, you weren't that human. Yeah. And you tried it. How did it go? It's like the Christmas time. I always give the Christmas examples. Hundreds of people. No, I'm just going to let go because so-and-so influencer said let go. I say, see me in January. We make tons in January because everybody fucked it, because you're not the type of... It's like certain people win the lottery and fuck their life up. Mm. Certain people play the tortoise and the hare and end up ahead because they can use the money. Certain people, footballers, you see, they're bankrupt when they're in their 40s. Like, how? Because they weren't good with money, let alone 100 grand a week. Same with food. And if a lot of you don't realise that the reason you can't say no to the cake or the food, or you can't mitigate the drinking, is because you're special. It's not. It's because you've got a problem with it and you need to stop.
Yeah. Another one, moving swiftly on. Another one, and I've found this with a lot of people this week, is people around them that are influencing them, that are like, they want to waver them off the plan because they've got
surrounded by ourselves.
Yeah, you are going to be surrounded by ourselves, and you're going to be surrounded by people that they want to keep you in their shit situation.
Oh yeah, people only like you until you're doing better than them.
Yeah,
and honestly, and I think shout out to Tina, 12 stone down, 8 months. She said while she was losing a little bit, everyone was pro Tina. Now she's lost more than she needs to lose. Oh, Tina, don't overdo it. Tina, don't work out so hard, because now she's about to be the slim friend.
Yeah.
The friend, and I say this unreservedly, the reason why people in shape bond is because we all know it's harder to get off the sofa than stay on the sofa. It's harder to eat the chicken than eat the Easter egg. It's harder to do the hit session for the 3rd day when you're sore than not. We bond over the struggle. She's about to be the person who beat her struggle. 99% of people I meet in business cannot do the 2 or 3 years without buying the new car when they've got the money, without investing in a bigger house, because they need to put it back in the business, because they're itching to get the result from that instead of it. The people who fail on diets are the ones who get 3 stone in the 6. Oh, I can do that. I can do this. She didn't. She even said to me, I think, 8 stone. Oh, can I? I said, you can't relax until you're 14, 15 stone down. Trust me. I've had clients lose 10 stone per 10 on.
Yeah.
But I said to her, but those people around you, and this hurts people, and I'm sorry to say, some people around you are not as pure as you think they are because of the actions they tell you is their agenda. And people say, oh, just have that. I remember being in union, someone saying to me, just have that drink. I went, why does one drink influence your night? What you're really saying is, because I can't be sober tonight, you can't be sober tonight, because you being sober triggers me realizing that I can't say no.
Yeah.
Which is, because I've had friends come out, and I have been drinking, and they're like, can I not drink? I'm like, that's fine. I'll be pissed in the corner dancing to Usher. Won't matter to me.
Mm.
But that's the thing, you're right, is people around you who sabotage you don't love you in the way that I think they should.
Yeah. And it is, I think I've spoke to a couple of clients this week. There's another lady as well. She's doing really, really well. And the friend wanted her to go for dinner at her house, and she didn't want her taking her own food.
Oh, I remember.
And she was really offended by this lady. And this lady's doing so well. And it's like, why would you... I went out a couple of weeks ago to a concert with my friends. We went to Gaucho. They knew I was on plan. And yeah, amazing. And as soon as we got in the restaurant, they did not bat an eyelid. I had to be really strict. So this is how I want my steak cooked. I had my little weighing scales, got them out, and they said, make sure you don't cook it in this. Make sure she's doing bodybuilding. My friends are like so pro me, like doing what I want to do.
How, this again, it baffles me. Why wouldn't you be pro something that someone loves? cares about, or in the sense of people needing to lose weight for their psychology, their mindset, their health, why wouldn't you be pro that? And I've said this to people. If I had somebody come up to me and say, oh, you probably shouldn't be working another day, you shouldn't be starting another business, well, it's for my family, I'd say, what's your agenda?
Yeah.
You should be like, start every motherfucker, do everything, invest in everything. I want to see your family safe for 10 generations.
Yeah.
And that is a problem, because I think you tend to find people with the worst weight problems are people whose surroundings are weight management issues.
Yeah. I think being on this plan will make you look at everything in life. Yeah. Everything in life.
It's holistic. It's not just a plan. We try and force people to view everything differently.
Yeah. And I know for me, it strips everything back. Genuine friends, genuine family, who I actually want in my circle. And I think like 4 years in, everyone I've got in my clique is who I want in my clique for the rest of my life. And I've lost people. I don't really care. I've got so many new friends now. And it's like, what is that? Your friends are your future, not your history.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they are. And I said this, I think people are scared to say to people, I don't know if you're really aligned with me anymore. It's why we get a PT, I think things, pardon me if I mispronounce your name, I think it's Khalil or Kazim. He messaged me off the back of a question and answer and said, I've had a few clients leave their husbands because their husbands are overweight, toxic, try and hold them back. I said, we get it, Jewel, all the time.
Yeah.
People are transient, and this isn't me saying everyone break up with everyone and get rid of your friends, but you're meant to grow forward. And sometimes people just don't align, and they shouldn't. And I hate the people that they don't feel ready to make the move yet, because it can be very hard to lose weight and get in shape with people constantly trying to screw you over.
Yeah. And I think that's a sort of another proportion of people that will get so far in a plan, but they've not changed their circle, be it the partner, be it the husband. And a lot of that will hold them back. You're never going to move on. They'll go and lose loads of weight. They'll come off plan and go, yeah, I'm ready. They'll be the ones that they come back next year and go, yeah, I put that on. And I was like, you still with the partner? You still with the husband? You still with the wife?
Who's apparently an expert.
Yeah.
Which I'd say one of our points is out of shape people who are now an expert, which is all going on to that. But it's when their partners, they say, my partner said I should be doing this. And I'm like, so tell me which fitness professional, professor, educated influencer he is. Oh no, what it is his mum's sister cousin Terry, who works delivering caravans, said, I'm like, tell him to fuck off. Literally. And I remember back in the day, I used to do videos, voice notes for people, because I would say, what century, planet or cosmos are you from that you think your input trumps my input?
Yeah.
It's honestly, and it's baffling. I commented rarely on a status yesterday about a girl who claimed her insulin resistance meant she couldn't lose weight, not that it's harder. Couldn't. So I commented, a woman who tried to blag, she was a biodiversity lab. She wasn't. She just fucking cut glass for him in a brew bomb open. And she came on and said, no, this is this. Bodies on bomb calorimeters, which is where they test thermodynamic laws on. I said, we're not, but it's been tested, 99.9% efficacy. And she went, no, it's not, because this study, and she put up a study which didn't even correlate to what she wanted to, because you have to be taught research methods at uni to understand what studies are biased or blind or non-blind, or they're paid for by Kellogg's to say cereal's healthy. You have to be taught that. It's hard. I actually failed it one module. So as I was commenting back, and I was trying not to be condescending, I was saying, look, here's my page, here's my history, here's the actual scientific physics of it. And someone else came on and went, I'm so glad Glass Cutter FM is on, because you've got it wrong. I said, so everything I've said and my open profile, you're now siding with a glass cutter from like Dagenham. How? Because it's that confirmation bias. If your boyfriend says someone told him that you should be having less carbs, somehow that trumps experts.
Yeah.
It's fucking baffling.
It's mad. Another one that I've got is, and I'm finding this a lot, people that are inquiring about joining the plan, but they only want to eat. They don't want... They don't want to eat Cocoa Pops. They only want to eat wholesome food. They don't want to... well, this is it. And this is...
100% send it.
And I think this is causing our rift at the moment.
The problem is, Eddie is wrong on 90% of his science. He's right in... I say this because I don't like Andrew Tate, but I like some things he says. Adolf Hitler had some of the best strategies for marketing on the earth for an oppressive, dictating Nazi scoundrel. but you could still, Napoleon had some, Genghis Khan killed more of the free world than anybody. The way he did it, you have to take your hat off and say, if I was going to be a warring general, this is how I do it. So again, people need to have some kind of intelligence to say that may be a very bad thing, but the way it's done, we can learn from.
Yeah.
So again, caveat, I don't think Hitler's a great man. He had the tactician mind of a marketing genius. We see these people, and I've just lost my train of thought.
Talking about the good foods, the bad
foods.
So,
and someone said to me, they said, I can't have any chemicals in my food. I'm like, okay, let me tell you, water, H2O is a chemical. I know what I mean is this, let me stop you there, because you don't know what chemicals are. The whole of this conversation is like trying to put a roof on a house you haven't built. Stop. I can't Eddie abuse it. Eddie Abuse said calorie counting doesn't work. It is an irrefutable law of thermodynamics. It's not entropy. It's not heat transfer. It is a irrefutable rule. You can say that it's too possessive over calories. You can say it makes people obsessed. You can't say it doesn't exist. It's irrefutable. The carnivore diet causes arteriosclerosis, causes plaque buildup. You can't get away from that. You can lie for an agenda shrouded around the fact that real food is better for you. It is. But 99% of you don't know what process means. Mm-hmm. Processing is technically the heating, drying, packaging, freezing of any food. Every food you eat in your fridge, motherfucker, is processed. Oh, Scott, what I meant was ultra-processed. But you didn't say that. So now we're moving off topic. Oh, no, Scott, I can't eat Cocoa Pops because they're 80% wheat. Oh, no, but the sugar in them, you will eat through something else. And that's the problem. And it's true. You're not an expert. You think you are. And that bias is, I think, is dangerous. Because like you said, we get these people who join up and they talk like experts when they're not. And it's a really limiting position, isn't it?
It is. And I think especially when, elephant in the room, they've been heavily out of shape for so bloody... And they had the doctors every week.
Which is ironically so much quantifiably worse for you. One woman said to me, I don't remember famously, she showed me these packets of this food and she said, I can't eat this. I said, you're 7 stone overweight. You're 80% more likely to get cancer. You're so much more likely to get diabetes. What you're eating, and I'm famous. When Gemma Collins, she failed Eddie Boo's plan, but I'm only going to say it because she did come off undeniable and better than me. She lost 3 stone in 3 months. And we let her go to McDonald's. We let her do this. We let her do that. Do you know why? It was a fucking calorie matter. When she was 3 stone down, her blood was better than it was when she was heavier, regardless of what she ate, because as everyone knows, food cannot have the effect on you that weight loss can have in the short term. Meaning, if you lost 8 stone eating Burger King, you will be healthier than someone who lost 2 stone not eating Burger King. Because the thing that was making you the most unhealthy was the 8 fucking stone.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. People don't understand, really, and Alanna and I both think this, you need to, I can't remember, I'm just saying, shut the fuck up, get on with it. And at the end of it, let's talk about, maybe Cocoa Pops aren't as good as maybe some avocado and some wholemeal toast with some grass-fed butter. But right now, and obviously if you don't like Cocoa Pops, you just use that as an example. But the fact is, a lot of the food you're shying away from aren't your fucking problem. The fact that you can't run the bus is your fucking problem.
Yeah. And they're living at the bloody doctors. They're taking the antidepressants. They're drinking heavily. It's, something has made them fat and they've not been on chicken, eggs and fish to get them in that state. The same as me. I hadn't been living off of that to get me in the state that I was in. So it's, don't come to us being an expert.
It's the blag that I don't really unhealthily. You do. You didn't get that way on rice cakes and green beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem with that elephant in the room, is the fact that we're here hearing the very worst of society's dieting problems. We know how you got there. We would like to get you out of it. And that's the thing that I caveat all this conversation with and everything else. We don't have and we're in our 40s now. We don't have any of those problems. So if you'd like to get out of the problems and you'd like to copy the 16,000 people who came towards you, try and be open-minded, try not to be an expert and get the job done.
Yeah. Because in 4 years of being with you, I've not had to go to the doctors once. I've come off 6 years worth of medication, which the doctor...
But any of us, none of us, I got COVID once. I'm not vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm into that. It lasted 24 hours.
And
it lasted 24 hours. And I was openly, as everyone saw, in gyms. I was out and about. I didn't mask. It didn't affect anyone I know who had lived the life we lived.
Yeah.
At all.
Completely. I've been to the doctors in 4 years. I had my blood work done before Christmas because I was getting tired. I thought, do you know what, maybe menopause.
Are you on your period now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have your period come show day.
Yeah. And I had my blood work done before Christmas because I thought might be going into an early menopause. And she rung me up. She went, Alanna, it's the best blood work I've seen for a 44-year-old.
Yeah.
you're just getting old. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about old age. And she went, you sound so disappointed. I was like, oh, because I really didn't think there was something wrong with me. And she was like, no, it's just, typical 44-year-old, because you feel like you're Peter Pan all the time. But yeah, like, what a great position to be in. Like, not been, so I could eat Cocoa Pops every day if it is going to keep me in this state. Like,
but that's the thing. And I think, again, what you said is perfectly, and I say this to the Eddie Boo lovers and all the carnivore people, I'm sorry, I lived the keto diet for 8 years. And this is why I'm so staunchly against carnivore. I lived the keto diet for 8 years and I gave myself plaque. Luckily, thank God, I only have minimal plaque, but I gave myself arterial sclerosis. I have to now watch my plaque for the rest of my life. And I was a fruit eater. I still had rice. I wasn't just purely high saturated fat, eggs, steak, chicken, beef, pork. So God knows what some of you are going to get up to in 10 years because you don't have the £1,500 to spend on a plaque test. And you'll find out sharply why these zealots are giving you a one-way ticket to death early. Heart disease kills 300,000 plus people per year. You will not get away from small LDL particles passing over and having high levels of oxidation. You will get in trouble. So follow at your peril. Carbs are essential. Glucose is the main energy source of the brain. They taste great. Fruit is always good for you. No one's twatting 1,000 grams of, you wouldn't have the money most to do that with fruit. So again, the message of real food is great. The message to stay away from sugar and fruit and carbs is absolute bollocking, baffling. And most people who say that would fail a GCSE science paper.
Yeah.
I hear them. Dr. Rids, someone I followed, he's great. He shares rebuttals to most of them. There's only a certain amount of times you can form rebuttals to Eddie Book. It's all the same. He says the same thing, the same bullshit science. But your problem is you're not losing weight, not the Cocoa Pops, not the Rice Krispies bars, not the Red Bull. And half the stuff he says, the look at those ingredients, do absolutely nothing physiologically to you. It's like aspartame.
And I've got to say, this is coming from someone who's done steroids all of his life and has been vaccinated. I rest my case. I'm not going to take advice.
And it's funny, actually. Somebody said to me, they sent a video of when he said, up till 2 years ago, I had all these problems. I was like, you're like a reformed saint, and on that. Yeah. The reason you had all these problems is you had no fucking clue. And of course, stopping the steroids, stopping all that will heal a lot of them anyway. Mm-hmm. That's just like, stopping going to strip clubs and working out you don't watch porn anymore. Probably. But strip clubs aren't the way we all stop watching porn. Correlation, causation. Yeah. Causation is you're now healthy because you stopped all the unhealthy shit, not because you have eggs every day or you stay away from Red Bull. Yeah. And I say to people, I have my blood work done every month because I'm anal about living till I'm 70 because I did do steroids for 10 years. And there's not one factor apart from plaque. I've had a CT scan, a plaque dye test. I've had a brain scan, a full body MRI, 3 echocardiograms of full blood work. I have no left ventricular hypertrophy, no kidney problems. My GFR is 115. So if any of those contributed, and people say genetics, but I'm like, well, then find out what your genetics are, because I know I really enjoy a white monster every day. I really enjoy chocolate. And until my blood work says otherwise, you can't tell me it's doing anything, because it's not. But I can tell you yours is. Because, I could pick someone the other day said they fainted like 6 times last week because they're not got any carbs in the diet. I said, fuck me, that high protein, 0 carb fat diet's working for you then. You're not even cognizant with your kids. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's wild. It's wild. What else we got on our little list?
So the one I love is the run before they can walk.
Oh, God.
So I'll give you the question. So if you sign up to an expert and they have access to you and everyone, and they see you because you are, the kind of the female leader, why is it that they won't, I see no Alanna. Wow, I want to be like her. Okay, here's what she did. No, I need to do more. I can do more, or give me something specialized. You never said that. And to be fair, when people don't realize, none of my athletes, ambassadors, or staff get treated any different. I didn't change Ala's program recently for months, but she didn't ask for it to be changed because the magic isn't in the change, the magic is in the doing. Yeah. So what do you think? And I'll ask you the question, why do they run before they can walk?
Because they don't actually realise it is very, very basic.
Quite a boring process.
It's very boring. It's very tedious. And that's why my ADHD loves it. I hate change. And this is why I hate this 2 weeks out before the show, because things have to change quite rapidly. And that frazzles my brain.
Actually, most neurodiverse, because obviously I'm on the autistic spectrum, everyone who knows, And I'll sit in a room and look at dog training videos for 12 hours listening to the same song. I have these weird things. And it's true. Most people who are neurodivergent do so much better on plan, because I think also they understand that change is often, you wouldn't change your business the second week, you wouldn't change how you parent all the time. Do you think they think that the change is the thing which is going to drive them, not the actually getting good at what we tell them to get good at?
Yeah, and I think I know for me, I'd always been a grasshopper, different diets, different, every time I went to the gym, I've gone to the gym with a PT, it was different. And I thought that's what I needed to do. So when I come to you with the plan and it was like, okay, we might roll this out. Okay, you've dropped £6 this week. We're going to roll this out again. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if I'd done that again, I could even lose £12 in 2 weeks. Yeah, let's do it again. My little simpleness was like, it was like the jigsaw going in. Is this all I needed to do?
Well, this is the thing I say to people. I'm like, and I always say it in this order. So you've seen my page, which is 16, maybe 17,000 people deep. Most of them I put up on purpose because they're insane, world-class transformations, time frames, type of person, type of problem. So you've seen that. That hooked you in. You've seen some people talk about it. You've seen some friends. So they've listened to me. So you come in. You've then lost £3 this week. No problem with sleep, no problem with diet. You enjoyed the food. What is the mindset of saying, what are we changing this week? I actually do look at it sometimes, and a very good client said it this week, and I went, "What? Read that back to yourself. Surely that says, if we were to translate, Google Translate, Scott found something which worked. I'm paying him to find something that worked because what I did didn't work. Why would I possibly change it?" And that actually goes out to PTs out there. Your job is to tell people where the skill is not changing, where the skill is sending the same product out again on Amazon to sell for another round. Because if you're in this to get in shape, the fact something may be a little boring shouldn't be your thought process. The thought process should be, because this is when people say to you, they go, "But I paid £400. I'm like, that's for the result. And frankly, if I was paying people for the result, and it was direct debit, you'd all be very much poorer, because I know what the result actually gives your whole life. That's inside. So do you think the fact that you wanted just to change, not the changes, that helped you because you're ADHD, because you were just fixated on getting the weight off, and how we did it or how many times we changed wasn't indicative of the quality?
Yeah, and it wasn't. And like I say, it's like the jigsaw piece going in, and it was like when that weight was coming off, it's like, we don't need to change anything. I lapped that up, and I love that. And being a really busy mum of two, coming off of medication, stopping 20 years worth of addictions, my brain was frazzled when I come to you.
I change what's working.
So it was like, I haven't got to do this with trying to come off the medication and my brain being scrambled. I don't need to muck about with diet. That's what I'm eating every day. I don't need to muck about the exercise. I carry that on again. And it was just like, wow, 20 years of grasshopping and fad, lose a couple of pounds, put it back on. And it was like, this was constant weight loss, whether I was having a cycle, whether I was having a bad day. It was just stick to that plan, and it just come off. And I think that's why I've just carried on. I've carried on for 4 years, because we'd get a goal. It's like, right, we'd move the goalpost even further. We'd move, sky is the limit with anyone getting on this plan. If you just get rid of your ego, I think also Instagram, you're seeing all of these little 20-year-old faddy, different workouts every day, and that they get hooked in on this. And it is diet and exercise is pretty boring, but it is pretty basic. And if you could just build that foundation, you can.
I wish professional athletes were easy to get hold of. And I saw Ian Thorpe, the swimmer, the Olympian, put something on there akin to Kobe Bryant, and they said, the difference between me and you is I didn't take days off, and I did the boring things continually.
Yeah.
And I said to someone in the gym the other day, I put up some old pictures of me, and he said, how do your arms that big? I said, exactly the same workout you do for 10 years, and I'm so much stronger. Where you're curling the 20s, I curled the 40s. All right, so I didn't go in and go, I'll do a preach curl, I'll do a cane curl. I went, right, I need to add another kilo, another pound. Over time, I'm bigger and stronger. That's the sole reason. The girls with the best glutes, they lunge, they hip thrust, they squat, and they deficit lunge better than you. Chopping exercises. It's like I say to people, and my professor in uni gave this example in physiology about sticking to things, because muscles adapt to patterns of stress. First, neurologically, your body gets used to a movement. Oh, does my arm move here? How do I stabilize my joint? The next week, your body gives you a bit more. So you're able to add a kilo. The kilo causes a tension result from the brain. The brain goes, oh my God, we're not big enough or strong enough to handle that kilo. We will remodel the fibers. The sarcomere is stronger. If you then jump to another exercise, the body goes, oh, new pattern of movement. That first week, you don't get any muscle. Your body goes, oh, okay, it's out here now, coming in. That next week you add that kilo is the first time any tension comes, but that's not enough to elicit a muscular change. Then you change an exercise. You never get good at something enough. It's like I say to people, this example he gave, he said, if I asked you to ride a unicycle today, a scooter tomorrow, a motorbike the next day, and stand on your hands the next day, after day 5, which would you be good at? None. If you were trying a handstand, you would do it every day. If you're trying to ride a bike, you ride it every day. You learn to balance. Once you balanced, you learn to go fast. Once you learn to go fast, you learn to take the stabilizers off. Only then can you ride the bike.
Yeah.
And this is my gripe with PTs. And this is why you don't get the results, because you're scared of the client going, I'm bored. I tell them, I'm like, the fact you're bored is the reason you need me to tell you your boredom is the problem. And I say to people, if you don't want to do it properly and quickly, don't do it with me. But then when the people lose 6 stone in 6 months and get the glutes and they say, how often can you change the program? They go 4 times. They go, but you paid him so much. Yeah, they paid me to not change the plan if it shouldn't be changed. It's like a barrister. You don't go in court and go, oh, mate, you sure shouldn't argue this bit. You shut the fuck up and let him do his job. You don't go, mate, why are you sending the jury down this road? You wouldn't dare, but in fitness, oddly, because you don't see the legalities of life on Instagram. Oh, but so-and-so does that exercise. There's no leverage in it. But she stands up on the adductor machine. Well, you have nothing to push on. Why is that important? That's why you've got me. I can't teach you the biomechanics of it, but I can tell you it's shit. Well, she does it. And that's the problem. You get people who, they want an expert or they want to be like you, but then they don't want to do anything you tell them to do.
No. And it's like most of the videos that I'm going to do a 4-year comparison of the fat loss in the first year when we dropped the 5 stone to the last 3 years of building muscle. And it is, my program changes maybe 4 times a year. I've probably done the same since getting into the bodybuilding, the same workouts for the last 3 years.
How many in reality, how many total exercises have you changed in 4 years? I mean, a new machine comes in, that might be better for our hamstrings. But no, everyone's still lunging and squat. And this is the thing, and I mean to offend you all. Most of you can't squat a bar properly, but you want to know the latest machine to put on. I watch Instagram videos, and I went to Athelis Gym, shout out, great health club in Warrington, and I watched 3 girls training legs. I shit you not one exercise was done properly, not one set did anything. And in fact, the PT next to them was letting them use so much weight. They were so high on the squats that it was barely a standing up hip thrust. They wasted a workout because they did. And I will go back in 4 months and they will look the same because they're not prepared to stand there and put no weight on the bar and learn to do it properly. There's a reason why some people go, that bodybuilder's not that strong, but he's doing it for the purpose of building muscle. He's not trying to be strong. You know, there's a difference. You all, oh, I want to lunge 40 kilograms aside. Well, your knee ain't touching the floor. I don't need to. You do. You think you don't need to because that validates your need to put weight on the bar.
Yeah.
But really, you need to go like.
I'm not particularly strong lifter.
No, you don't have to be.
But my technique.
And look at the way you look.
Yeah. I've never been a strong lifter, but it is. I'm like time under tension and just getting it on point. Yeah. And I've just done that over and over and over and over again. And I don't get bored of it because every year I look better than the year before.
I was bench pressing the other week. And a kid said to me in the Thursday going, shout out, great gym. He said, oh, mate, you haven't got much weight on the bar. And I said, well, it was only 6 reps. And he suggested, no, the weight caused me to fail at 6 and that's a heavy weight. The fact there wasn't weight on the bar, I don't care. I warmed up to a point where the weight on the bar allowed me to do a heavy set of 6, no more. I looked this way. And you could see the cogs turning. And I said, but if I'd have had more weight on the bar and couldn't do it properly, I wouldn't look like this. The weight on the bar isn't what I'm trying to do. No one ever came up to me in the club and Scott, your arms are big, watch your curl. We're bodybuilding, physique changing. Yes, I used to be ferociously strong on some movements because over time, the muscle grew big because of that. The muscle comes before the weight.
Yeah.
There are people out there who probably hip thrust 100 kilograms off small glutes. Sorry to them. But there are people out there who don't lift that much weight and are weightlifters. And they look, shout out, most people have seen Larry Wheels, one of the strongest athletes on earth. In my prime, I was twice the size of him. And I couldn't lift literally half the weight. And people joke in videos, they say, wow. And he admits, he says, I do everything with leverage and momentum. And that's one of the things I see is the fact that people, again, but it goes back to the point, if those girls had a program and dropped the ego and stuck to it, how does Lana's glute grow so well? Because she does it properly. She's not interested in hip thrusting 200 kilograms. Yeah, some people are stronger and end up having to lift more weight to get the result. But if you don't have to, why do it?
Yeah, completely. So stick to the plan. Stick to the things that might just be really tedious, but are going to get you results. Like I say, I post all my training online, and someone the other day said, "Oh, you're always doing pull-ups." Yeah, I'm always doing pull-ups. Always doing hip thrusts. Yeah, always doing hip thrusts. I vlog it all, and it is what's going to get me there. So don't run before you can walk.
And also, trust the fact that you're talking to people who are where you want to be and are experts. If they say to you, for instance, a woman said to me, they said, "I'm doing my runs. Is there anything I can do to make it harder?" I said, "Run faster." And what do you mean? I went, "Well, not Moses Kipton. Let's just say Paula Radcliffe will run a mile in 4 minutes, and that's why she's that fit and that slim. Because you can't move an object that fast over that pace without there being nothing on them. It's streamlined, it's physics. Are you at that level? No. Well, keep going until you will. Or it could take me years. That's running. Look at that. And that principle baffles people. I'm like, well, no. What you're trying to do, which is get proficient, say you want to run a 10K in like 25 minutes, give yourself 2 years of doing boring runs, seconds faster every day, which compound, adding 1 rep on the bar, 1 plate until you bench press 5 aside, you'll be a big guy. There's no, and what people understand is, like, you'll know, when you add more weight to the bar, your form changes.
Yeah.
You then have to get that form better, which could take 2-3 weeks. So really, every time you jump weight, you have to adapt to balancing the weight again. And then you have to adapt to neurologically, oh, I've got to squat 10 kilograms heavier today. I haven't slept, or the kids a bit. This is the process. And by people not sharing that, you get people going, "Oh, I forgot, when am I going to change my plan?" I said to one the other day, I said, "No offense," because she didn't really ask me. She kind of told me I was ripping her off for not changing a plan. I said, "You're shit at exercise. You can't squat a 60K bar." I think Soph, when she was losing her weight, did it for about 15 reps for a session. I said, "You can't do a press up properly and you can't do a pull up. You don't even fucking need it. If I was honest with you, you wouldn't be in a gym, but you wouldn't sign up. So I have to give some kind of leeway to your boredom. Get better." And she kind of went off and obviously asked someone, came back and went, "Oh, you're right." I said, "Yeah, you're a rank beginner. I don't care, you've been doing it 8 years.
Yeah.
Your actual data shows me you're a complete rank beginner, because no one said to you, do these things until you're so good at them, then put a bar on your back." I made a squat. Shout out to Angie, she actually took it really well. I asked her to squat with no weight on the bar. Her heels come off the floor and she fell over. I went, "So what right have you got to put weight on the bar? I'll pay you to ask a proper professional." She went, "I don't need to, I get it." I said, "Well, there you go. So don't fight me, because contrary to popular belief, everyone, I enjoy being good at my job. Alanna enjoys being good at her job. We're trying to get you there the quickest, best way. So if we say do something or don't do something, it's in your interest."
Yeah, completely. Right.
What I wanted to ask you for, because this one is a psychological one, and it does baffle me. It's clients who think they're very important to take note of the rules. I'll let you shoot, because Alanna sees 90% of this. I don't. I'm a chicken and I shoot to her.
I think it's always the same type of person. They've done very well in their job. They're 40 plus.
Yep.
And they just want to be this VIP special treatment.
Yep.
There is no special treatment when it comes to diet and fitness. Everyone starts at the beginning.
Yep.
You can't buy what we've got. You can only progress and learn and put the groundwork in. You can't fast track this.
And do you think because it's always middle management, breadwinner, female, 40 to 55, do you think because they've not been crap at something for years, being subservient to people much better than them irks them?
Yeah, it really triggers them.
Oh, yeah.
It really triggers them. They don't like it. They don't like it one bit, and they will go on that attack. They'll go on that Dava. Yeah.
For people who don't know Dava is deflect, aggressive, reverse, victim. It's where, for instance, you'll know with narcissistic people, you'll say, "You didn't take the bins out," and they go, "Oh my God, you're in such a mood this morning, typical you, because yesterday I had to put up with you," instead of going, "I didn't put the bins out, I'm sorry." And Alana's right, we get it. We get people who, they'll mess up their admin, or they'll ruin our startup process, and when you point it out to them, they immediately attack you for it. It was too complicated. That's an aside. And I go, "No, that's how you got here."
Yeah. It's a very common thing, and that they do get quite aggressive with you. It's like they wouldn't have read. The reading the packs is another one. this isn't quite a link between the two. They won't read the packs. And even when you're saying to them, make sure you print them packs out, read them packs.
So check this out. Not only do we have it, and I say some interim story. So when you sign up with us, you get welcome packs. On the welcome pack, it says, because Bella made the welcome pack, this is the pack you get before you pay. It says, when you get the packs, add our email addresses because a lot go into junk and spam. Also, our liaison, who is your first port of call, is on these email addresses in this Instagram. So you get that before you pay. Then when you pay and join, you get 3 emails with 10 PDFs on. Could be overkill, but I like to give lots of, there's education packs, physio packs, wellbeing packs. And it says at the top, or it did actually till 2 days ago, it says, please read and print the packs. And this is in bold and underlined italics, so it looks different. Please read the packs. Where clients fall down is their failure to read the packs. This has been shown by profiling that they fail the planks. It's obviously online, you've got to read it. Then says, please, when you've read the packs and printed them and made notes, go to the client liaison, not Scott. At the bottom of the page, again, on all 3 emails, it says, again, please read and print the packs. Your first port of call is the liaison, not Scott, till your first check-in, because I don't have the time to go through, can I change this can of fish? And that at the moment is a part of Alanna's job. So that's 6 times written in bold. And now at the top it says, please read and pay attention to what's in bold. I shit you not, you'll get people email me and go, hey, Scott, just got the diet sheet. What's the diet? Or just got the emails. Can you explain this first sentence? And I always reply, I'll say, and I ring everything, because in psychology, you have to associate a change with something someone should have seen. So I ring it all 6 times. I say, hi, that was sent to you, but also this pack said that answer, this pack said this. So you clearly haven't read, printed, or done anything. Let me know if you have a problem with skim reading, you have a problem with just glazing over things, or you're too excited. Because, funnily enough, all 3 things, if done in life consistently, you'll get into problems with terms, conditions, with car finance, with leasing, with mortgages. Paying attention is a prerequisite of successful people. Don't people go fucking mad? No, don't. 50% go, fucking hell, Scott, I'm one of those people you talk about. I was giddy. And do you know what? When they're giddy, I go, do you know what? I get it, even though there is now nothing more we can physically do. And to one point, one businessman I know, shout out to Graham, said to me, Jesus Christ, Scott, that was almost overkill, the amount you referred me to Alanna. I'll get a WhatsApp every day. Hey, Scott, just had my emails through. Here's my questions. And I go, but how mad do people get when you point out they missed all of that and did the opposite?
Yeah.
And not even how mad do they get?
Yeah, and it will be, or they will message me and go, well, I've messaged Scott and he's not got back to me. And then I'll go, have you read through the packs with the underlining? And then it will be a case of, they don't like that at all. They don't like me saying, but it did clearly state. And then it will be, do you know who it will be the case of, I'm very important. I don't want to deal with you. I only want to deal with Scott. And I'm like, well.
Oh, and then they say stuff like, they go, well, this process is far too complicated. Motherfucker, it couldn't be easy. Well, the thing is, people don't know how many clients we actually have to know how many are successful in actually doing it properly. And I have said to a few rude people, because I am a prick and it's my brand, I say, you don't understand that we get 18-year-old kids in uni who navigate the start pack properly. God knows you don't know what it was like before we put that sort of stuff on there in bold and referenced. It was wild.
Yeah.
But I don't see why people, again, it is a failing, and Dr. Emily shouts out, she's shown the literature, that people can't go, okay, here's an area I don't excel at. And I say to people, you're here because you don't excel in the physical realm of health and fitness. So it's not wild to assume there may be other areas you fall down in. But here's funny. We've profiled it. The people who read the packs and go to the right place and take notes smash the plan. Yeah. Because they just took that time.
Yeah. And they're the ones that I love. And they're the ones that go, they haven't got to apologise. They're like, I'm really sorry to ask you this again. But I love them people, and I'm like, ask me. Even if you've got to ask me, I've got to break it down. Yeah, and this is why I take people from email. I get them to voice note me. I talk them through, and they're like, now you've explained it. I get it, but I have trouble when I'm reading things. Or we have a lot of people that are dyslexic, or I skim read. I'm dyslexic. I need someone to go, you need to. And even sometimes I message you and you go, Alanna.
Well, this is the thing. I am dyslexic, so these packs were made for the continual reference and bullet points to help people who have a problem with, for instance, that's why it's repeated at the top and the bottom. That's why it's in bold. That's why we have separate sheets to reference this. And it even says, I forgot the other one, it even says in our Q&A pack, Have you read the packs, printed the packs, made notes, saved our email?
Yeah.
That, shout out to Bella. So we can't possibly do it. But if someone then still finds a problem with authority, then, frankly, they do get the stick back, because, frankly, the way some people speak to you is and they deserve what they get, because that's a toxic way to be. And the problem is, we do get a shitload of clients. So when this happens, there is a shitload of people to blow back on. Shout out to the group. I don't give a shit, because if we had to show both sides of it, you will look bad.
Yeah. I think also this last couple of weeks, especially since you had your son, it has been, I'll be honest, hair pulling out for the last.
The worst thing was and again, people don't think I should say this, but I do. Me having a son was no one's problem but mine. But he was in hospital for 2 weeks. It was absolute murder keeping a brand this busy while I was at the hospital three times a day, etc. Obviously I've got a daughter, I've got family, things were hard. And I put on my media as much as I could. If I miss a thing, it'll roll over. If we do, thank you. People who would see that would deny, and I check my stories every day, 10,000 people I do, because I have clients starred, and they'd be like, I didn't see it. And we'd be like, you fucking did. Just decided to be an arsehole, which is fine, but I know the reason why. Yeah. And I did it, some people we threw off, and I took great pleasure in it, because you're not the type of people that I think, and this is how nuts it is, and I'll prove it later. What's his name? Phil, I think. A guy checked in today after 3 weeks and said, hey, you're back online now, so we had problems with your son. I said, mate, I've been back about 2 weeks properly, but I've caught up. He said, I didn't want to bother you. I've kept to the plan. It worked. Can we kick back off today? And I was like, yeah, of course. Number one. Two, you can have all that 3 weeks free. And he was like, no, I don't need to. What you gave me worked. I was like, no, that's not the principle behind that at all, mate, but I appreciate it. But how come? He said, mate, it must have been so hard. You helped so many people. I appreciated giving you the time.
Yeah. It's definitely shown the good ones to people that and again, I think they want an excuse, because I can't stick to the plan. Yeah. They've got on week 1, week 2 and thought, oh shit, I've got to actually work and pull my finger up my arse. And it's easy to throw back and blame everyone else. Oh yeah, Scott's been in hospital. You didn't reply back to me within an hour, and I reply back to everyone within 24 hours. Oh, I replied back to everyone within the day.
This is the thing I say to people. Someone said to me, I couldn't get hold of you in hospital. I was sick as steak. I said, you obviously messaged the client liaison who's paid 7 days a week to be online, 4 or 5 hours a day. Oh no. Well, it says in the pack, if you can't get hold of me, or if it's something that's not serious. So I've got staff and systems in place for this. Your excuse is because you didn't hear back from me, you threw your toys out the pram.
Yeah. They want that. They want to get out of jail. Yeah, they want it out. And it's easier to just...
Like the lady who couldn't do the plan, admitted couldn't do the plan, and now it's a migraine problem, or she wants a refund. I said, if I book a hotel for 3 days, decide after 1 day I don't want to be there, that hotel will tell me to get fucked.
Yeah. I've got a headache in a hotel, so I'm going to go home.
That's what it is. But the fact that I may have signed up for something I couldn't do, I'm like, why do I face the penalty for your misjudgment or the fact you can't do it? That's not a bit. You can't go to a restaurant, eat half the meal and go, not as long as I thought, can I have half the meal back? You just don't go back, or you fucking adult up and don't go for food when you're not hungry.
Yeah.
But it's the premise that they go, yeah, you're so out of order. I'm like, you wouldn't do this in any other business which didn't have the link socially fitness kind of has. It's not seen as a real business or a real job. Like the people who go, oh, I did 6 weeks, I booked for 10, can I have 4 weeks back? Yeah. No. Like, where is that a thing?
Yeah.
It isn't. Just because you've now decided, if everyone did that, I'd be bust.
Yeah.
But they look at you like it's actually my problem.
Yeah, that's
it's wild. It's honestly, I talk to my lawyer about this all the time, and he's like, that's wild they do that.
And this industry, I think that is terrible for it, because they don't see the worth in it, or it's the people that, we all get it, or us as ambassadors. I'm doing da-da-da, and I'm doing this, and I'm eating that. How much protein should I be eating? And I'm like, this is why you need to employ Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't got the money to pay for it, but can you just tell me? Well, no, because I've just spent $3,000 and 2 years studying. Yeah. Scott...
And it's valuable. I say this to people, Scott, can you work out my calories? Yes, it'll cost you X amount. Well, all I need is that. That's like saying, can you work out my finances to be rich? That's all I need. Yeah, that's valuable information. Like those things going left when you should go right. Like one client today had a problem a few weeks ago with the medication, type of training they were doing, bit of fatigue. I basically said, no, look, trust me, go down this road. They did. They lost £10 doing medication. I said, now you see how worthwhile that left and right was.
Yeah.
You would have kept going right and got nowhere. Because I know in 3 seconds after 20,000 clients in 15 years, there's the old thing, you don't pay the plumber to hit the pipe. You pay him because he knows where to hit the pipe.
Yeah, completely.
There's I don't know if you know the Michelangelo, what's the word? The Michelangelo serviette. Someone goes, basically, it's made up, but it's the soup. Someone goes in a cafe and sees Michelangelo. They said, Michelangelo, you're really great. Could take a quick portrait of me. So he does a portrait in a minute. Hands them the thing and says, I want £1 million. They said, why? It took you a minute. He said, yeah, but I'm Michelangelo. You're paying for my ability to make that kind of portrait in 1 minute. You're not paying for the minute. It's like my dad used to say to me about court. He said, if it takes me 6 months to get someone out of prison or 1 minute, you're paying for me to get you out of prison. So am I meant to say that a minute took an hour, an hour took a minute? You're not paying for that. And I assist people painfully. One will go, I lost £10 in 2 weeks, I want to change. Well, no. What am I paying for one diet? Well, yes. If that one diet got you £10 off, yes, motherfucker, you're paying me to find that diet.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it baffles me that people will say to you, they go, but I paid £400 and I've only given one training plan, one diet. And how much you lost? Oh, £11 in 3 weeks.
It's crazy.
So it really worked then. You've got massive value, carry on. No, because I could have, and do you know what makes me laugh? They go, well, I could have got that off the internet. Really? And you didn't try.
And they've been out of shape 20 years of their life.
But that's why I think that, and I get so many PTs DM me about these problems, and they haven't got the following or they haven't got the guts to stand up against them. I say, tell them to fuck off. You're there to tell them the best way, whether it's one plan, £10. Obviously, if someone's a vegan, you give them meat, bullshit. If someone's throwing up because they can't handle turkey mince, that's bullshit. But my point is this, if it's working and it's what they paid you to do, tell them, because after all, they're paying you to tell them the way. If they can't understand that premise, then you need to leave them to the abyss of weight gain for the next 9 years before they work it out.
Yeah. Or I think another wild one is the way that the diet plan is sent, and people have an issue with like the format that it's sent.
Shit.
That is, wouldn't care if you read it on the back of a fag packet. If you went, Alanna, there's your diet on the back of a fag packet. Right, that's what I've got to do. Psh, they have so many issues.
You've just sent me screenshots of MyFitnessPal. I know, because it's the largest app of its kind, with all your food, all your grams, all your sodium, all your fat, all your cholesterol, all your potassium in one place. Well, I could have got that. Could you have? Because in 6 weeks' time, when you lost 2 stone, no, you couldn't. And do you know what's even wilder? When I used to be a pro athlete coach, I used to coach pros all the way around the world, their job, their sponsorships, 100 grand sponsorships, I used to send it by Microsoft Word. And guess what? They didn't give a fuck because they wanted the information on there. If Jeff Bezos gave me a napkin with a formula, I wouldn't care it wasn't on PDF. But this is the point, overriding point. People need more than they need because they equate the value to what they're getting, not the result, which is wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. And I'm like, but look at me. I followed this format for all of this time and I'm a pro athlete. I've gone from a suicidal addiction mother to a pro athlete. It works.
Well, I had a woman once, she said, I don't like the startup process. And I said, I've coached billionaire families, wealth managers, supercar dealers, and I've sent them this. So at what point was it not good enough for them? You just want more to complain about.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, actually, shut up and work hard. And you can't either handle the authority I've got or the position I'm in or the fact I'm a man or the fact that I'm telling you your position is a weak position.
Yeah. It's mad. And I really struggled with authority. I've never really took direction from men at all. But for me, getting on the plan, I just was like, you are the best. I didn't want to be your friend. I just wanted the best coach there. And
do you think that confuses people? Because I've made so many close friends, they think they should have that treatment early.
I think they do, but they don't see. And bloody hell, you are hard on me, Scott. You're not easy with me. When it comes, But yeah, I think people think we get this special treatment, and we don't, because there's Coach Scott, there's Boss Scott, and there's Friend Scott. But
I just have to let go of our ambassador now, who I like immensely, but wasn't doing what they're there to do. And I've said it to people a lot. It's great. And someone said on a post about me, someone had written, kicking off that I'd sacked them for binging. And they said, oh, all these people are just, I said, what? All these people are in my company. see all the stuff I do behind, and I'm not going to say the amount I do behind closed doors, apart from we now coach 80 people for free because they can't afford it, they've got family problems, or I just need them to not die young. I don't need to put that out anymore. I do put some of the charity stuff out because I think it's important to lead from the front, but I said, well, all these people are conned. All these people somehow back this illicit, horrible man. No, it's you, motherfucker. And if you got out your way, and I do share when people go, do you know, Scott, I thought you were a wanker at the start, but now I'm like, well, I'm the wanker who knows how to drag wankers like you through the depths of hell.
Yeah. And you did, and I was one of them people.
Kirsty wrote something the other day. Someone wrote to me, and I never shared, and I won't, and I promised I wouldn't, and they do know me. They said, why has she written that? I said, that translates to, you don't want me to be that person, because in your eyes, you want me to be this toxic scam wanker, but it's not.
No.
I'm hard on you because you need it.
Well, it's a case of don't muddle with the two. There's coach.
Yeah.
You know, like that first year being on plan, we weren't friends in that first year. I've been thrown off of plan that first year because I didn't stick to the rule.
And that's what baffles people as well. I say to them, you know, I think, God, who else? Loads of people, you know, I've caned Bella for making wrong choices. You know what I mean? It's, I think people, they don't understand that I'm literally here with a blueprint. I've seen whether people like it or not, or you haven't really, it's on my page. I've coached so many people now. I know every pitfall, every wrong turn, every profile type of person and decision. And I don't want, like, if people are happy being the person they are, fine. Don't listen to me. Don't take it on the chin. Don't take my criticism or my praise. But most of you are in and I'll be honest, in a shit place I would never let myself be in. Yeah. Let me do my job. Let us do our job. If you haven't read something, take it on the chin. If you read something you shouldn't, take it on the chin. One thing you said, which is true, it's the rules. You know, you can't bend them because you think you're someone that can bend them. Yeah. Oh, I know I'm late, but no, it is that. You know, it's not your plan. It's not your choice.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I know I went off plan, but I'll start again Monday. That's not your choice.
No. And it isn't that sort of plan. It isn't, we're not, I can't think of the word. We're not going to keep with the bad habits that you enable them.
There has to be consequences.
Yeah. And I've been there.
I sped the other day and got the ticket in the post. I was on the way to the hospital. Did I email and go, well, my son was ill, I just thought he had meningitis? No, I was like, that's lucky, you should have paid the speed limit.
Yeah.
I take the fine. I learned the lesson that even though shit hits the fan, watch your speed.
Yeah.
Getting there 10 miles an hour faster did not make a change. I didn't moan. Like I tell everyone, most people don't know, I went for shoulder surgery 3 years ago. I was in COVID. And again, whether you like it or not, I put it out there and it's true. And they phoned me and said, have you isolated for this week? I went, no, I went and picked up my daughter because I have to, because that's already transport. And they said, oh, we can't do your surgery because you didn't isolate. Now, I could have lied. I went, fine. What's the consequence? You have to wait another week and you have to pay 500 quid. I waited a week. I paid 500 quid. I didn't moan. I broke the rules. I admitted it. I took it on the chin.
Yeah.
That's life. Get a helmet.
Yeah. It was like me, 4.5 stone down, went off plan, held hands up, took off of plan.
And do you know what baffles me when people go, well, I was honest. I'm like, if you weren't honest, that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, oh my God, that is the worst one.
So just if you go to court, you kill someone, you go, well, I'm honest. He goes, great. We possibly won't throw the whole book, but you get most of the book.
Or they say, I didn't have to be honest, but I was honest.
What, so you're a liar? Well, then that's even worse than being overweight.
Yeah. And then they'll go on the attack. We are the world's worst people.
What should be out there by now, and I hope this clarifies it, is we don't care. You can be as mad as you want. You're the one with the problem. Mm-hmm. And obviously it is only 10%, 5%. But it's big because we've tried to do so many videos. And so, like when someone signed up the other week about, I can't believe I have to eat the same food a week. I said, there must be 100 videos saved to my page about this. Mm-hmm. It's better for digestion. It's better to prep. It's better to see how you perform. Too much variety to some people's paralysis by analysis. You know, too much choice. You knew it already. What it was is they knew it, thought they could do it, can't, and decide now that I have to face the financial penalty of them pulling out. No. Yeah. And they don't like being told no. Oh, what? So the consequence you thought would happen has happened, but now you'd like to drag me through. Luckily, bank and PayPal are great. They know what a friendly chargeback is. And my bank said something the other day, so you followed the terms and conditions. How? Well, no, I didn't. Well, I know Mr. Francis has already sent me the rule breaks. That is what it is.
Yeah.
That's why we pay these terms and condition lawyers to do what they do, because you can't just go in the bar, have a meal, put a big glass in and expect to get it back.
Yeah.
And how many excuses do we get?
You could write a bloody book on it.
You could.
It is. But I think that the main thing is people that get on it. And I think they would be better saying, I just find it hard.
Yeah, 100%.
It would be so much easier to say, I actually thought it was going to be easy. Yeah, I thought it was going to be easy and I found it hard, instead of come up with all these like Mary Poppins excuses of like just bullshit to push back on us, or I don't like how the food's been sent. I don't want to eat the same food every day. But I said to someone recently, write me down what you used to eat every week.
Same food.
And it'd be the same
80% of it, isn't it?
The same shit. Because when I was overweight, it was always a Kentucky, a McDonald's.
Yeah, none of you out there got overweight and you had a different meal for breakfast, lunch, dinner every single day.
Yeah.
It's just that was easier to narrate than having to eat. And yeah, some of you are so entitled. I mean, with so many people in the world that have food banks and can't eat properly, eating 5 meals of good food, fruit, veg, chicken, steak, fish, oats, you're entitled. You need to be made redundant or poor just to suffer like some people do who don't know.
And I think, and the flip side is the people that do fall down, they have a little time to think about it. I think the only sweet side of it is when you get that message back in a couple of months' time and they go, you were right.
Yeah, 100%.
You were right. And they're the people that come back on plan and then they never look back. So
I get people all the time. They go, Tuesday, I'm still following the food, still following the plan, still accountable. I understand that it wasn't a plan. I've said it's not a plan. Like people go, what are you going to do when the plan finishes? Carry on and act like Emily, Dr. Emily gets it a lot. What are you doing now? Your plan? She's like, eat healthy, clean food, track my calories so I'm not overweight, like I track my bag balance to make sure I'm not skinned, work out every day and be accountable. The plan is a lifestyle to follow.
Yeah.
Granted, all of us can probably go and binge on chocolate and cake today and we won't look a thing different tomorrow. I did the other day. I had a whole pack of cookies, woke up in the morning, actually leaner because the total calories didn't exceed my excess. But I wouldn't do that every day because even I will start to get out of shape. But the point is, that's what you do. It's like, oh, you went to a business guru and learned to be a millionaire. What are you going to do after? Continue to be a millionaire with the values a millionaire has. We're trying to instill the values that enable you to look this way at 44, me at 43, without any problems, habits, addiction. It's not something you just stop and then go back to being shit humans.
Yeah.
Or like we said at the start, don't be around shit humans that are making you want to go back that way.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. People, when they fall off and they put the weight back on, it's because of other shit humans around them.
Yeah. And then, that's about a valid point as well. We get people that they will break out of them friend groups, leave the husband, come back and go, I'm ready.
Yeah. And Yasmin put up an Instagram post on Ambassadors yesterday of 2019 when she was like, oh, I don't really know if I should do this. I'm not quite ready. And she tried twice. Got out of a toxic relationship and changed her life because you have to be ready. And that's why I think a lot of this is we have such a big following, such a big scope, so many people signed up that I think some aren't ready. And we do. We reject a lot. You'll say to me, what about her? And I'm like, no, I can see the red flags. They give you a list of things you need to do with them. I need to eat this. I need to train here. I already do this. And I'm like, so you don't want me to do any of my stuff? Yeah. You've already got it sussed. Oh, Scott, I've got a great diet, but I need the training. You don't have a great diet because you could train any way you want and you'd be in shape if you had a great diet. You just don't want to do the entirety of the process. Yeah. And I've had that with a few and I can spot the people now and I'll be like, the plan isn't for you. And then they will go on the attack again. He says that he could do anything. He can change anyone. But I can just see from the points that they're putting in and I'm like, you're not ready. No. You're not ready. And if we didn't give a shit, we'd go, give us your money. Everyone jump on. But I do sift through some of the process and go, no, this plan isn't for you at the moment. I said to people, if you break diet and I think it'd be good for you to stay on, I'd milk your money every month, let you cheat, let you get no results, and I'd be rich. Yeah. I don't. I kick you off. Some of you, we decide to refund even though we don't have to, because I think it's better for you to leave. And someone actually went to renew this week, a lady from America. And I said, no, you're not learning. She'd gone away, she'd binged. And I said, you're like a thief who only doesn't thieve when the cameras are on you. Yes. When the cameras, you haven't learned it. Oh, no, it is what it was. I said, it isn't. You haven't learned the lessons you're paying me for. I'll pay VIP. I said, not about, I have enough money. It's about the fact that I'm trying to get you all bulletproof and you're not. When you're not with me, you binge and you're lazy and you don't track food. You're literally someone who wins a lottery and then goes and splurges it and doesn't listen to any advice. Why would I want... And it is a lot of satisfaction. Some people come up to me and I say to them, like woman checked in yesterday, hadn't weighed her food, hadn't done cardio. I said, do you know how distressing it is for me to see your check-in come in and go, I bet she'll have done it again. It is, I want people who try.
Yeah. And we want to help the people that do want to be helped. So it's very frustrating because there's only so many people that we can have on. So when you get these people that is week after week and you just think you've not got it, or, it gets to week 2, week 3 and we're like, no, have your money, you need to go. Yeah. I
didn't weigh my food this week. What? You're week 3. Because, and I think the romantic side is they see you in all your outfits and with your kids in the shows, and they see people, and like girl at the airport today was like, I never want a belly top. Do you know how much it's worth all the slog just to wear a belly top? They see that and they go, I want to wear the belly top. I'm like, but you won't do what's needed to do. You won't, it's business. I said, you won't drive the dented car, even though you've got £1 million in the bank, because your business isn't quite there. You want the Mercedes or the Range Rover now, even though it might put you in a bit of distress if you have a bad month. You need the instant gratification. You're not ready to sacrifice. And it is, I say to people, if everyone got my results, do not sacrificing and following an 80-20 diet and not being strict, I would have found that method.
Yeah.
I'm the smartest one in the box. It's because I didn't find that method. I tried the 80-20. I tried letting people cheat and they carried on. And that's why people come to us, because they know they get kicked off if they cheat. They come to us because they want to break food focus. And it's overwhelming. It's 95% of people act that way.
Yeah.
But the 5% that jump on is why we're doing this pod, because they shouldn't jump on.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of very valuable information on this one today. I think we've... And
it's funny because what was one of the other ones on there? Actually, what's come up on your Instagram more so?
Got a couple saying if they haven't got access to a gym, this is a little bit different. Can they still lose weight without the gym? And I get this a lot.
I think people don't realise there is no plan.
Yeah.
And to tell you what, there is no plan. Yes, we have formats and we have things that I put together over the years that we send people to do, but if you're vegan, you only have vegan food. If you can't use a gym, we train at home or we do cardio. If you want to lose weight from your legs, we won't train up our body. If you've got allergies, we don't eat those foods. There is no set plan.
And I've done the first 10 weeks, just home workouts, no equipment, rusty old kettlebell, battle rope, that was it, but I didn't even need that. 2 stone in the first 10 weeks. I went on, done another 10 weeks, and I've done another stone. So within 20 weeks of home workouts, 2 young kids, homeschooling, losing my mind, 3 stone off.
I think people don't realise gyms are just safe buildings with equipment in to help you progressively overload and burn calories. Most of you, like I said, for you women out there, if you can't run a mile in 6-7 minutes, can't do 20 proper push-ups, can't do dips with your kids sat in your lap and can't do a pull-up, you don't need a gym. I get it. Some of you have joint and arthritis, because PTs are very not. A lot of you have joint osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, things like that, which mean you can't do a press up or a dip without having done a light machine work first, or without doing pull downs to warm my shoulders up. I can't do a pull up until I've done pull downs. But that's a caveat for the minority. Most of you need to do body weight plans to actually get your body in a position where you're strong enough to hold your own weight up to be able to put weight on a bar.
Yeah. It can be easily done. A lot of just saying, can't afford a coach, but what's the best place to start?
So the Ford one come up a bit this weekend, and then I do so with a heavy heart in the sense of, unfortunately, I know the value that our process gives people, and I wish I could price it cheaper. But I say this to a lady, when I did a lot of my qualifications, which enabled me to get the information I have now, they were really expensive. And someone said to me they should be, because the position you'll be in soon will make that investment tiny. And it was. I would have paid, I've only ever had one coach in my life, Dante Trudell, back in the day. And he could have charged me 15 grand for one program, because I've used his principles for 20 years. And I wouldn't be so grotesque to say what that's given me financially, but it would probably be 30,000, 50,000x, 100,000x easily, because I understood why he was hard to get, why he was sold out, why it was expensive. And I say to people, I can't lose 5 stone, even though we do a lot of free work. And there's tons of people who, unfortunately, I say that with tongue in cheek, who've taken my advice and lost 5 stone and never needed to die of me, who have said, wow, I can see why you charge what you do, because it's important to understand that some people need a lot of help, a lot of work, and I have to pay people to help also. And I pay consultants outside, and I've got endocrinologists who work with us and psychologists. They all require paying to get the information to then give to you. So as much as I would love it to be quote unquote affordable. I believe that certain people, if they want to change their life, need to understand there's a cost nexus to that.
Yeah, completely. And I think I've said this to a lot of people. If you just put a little bit away, I feel like everyone could benefit getting on your plan. And it would be a case of, even if it took you a year to save, to just come and do a few weeks with you, you would learn so much from it. If you really wanted to take it on board and do it, it would be worth the investment a million times over.
We had a lady this week, shout out Gemma from America, who said, wow, just the information in your FD school pack when I joined up dispelled all the myths I'd had. Because I put it together for free, so if people got the welcome packs and read all the literature, they would be armed with the information to carry on. I think I did a Q&A the other day, and so many people inboxed me, wow, I didn't realise you could lose weight with menopause. I didn't realise polycystic ovary syndrome made you have a lower BMR. And I was like, well, yeah, I won't tell you with PCOS how you individually should get slim, because that's the value of what I do, but I will tell you the basics, which you won't know. Like 99% of everyone listening will not know what a metabolism is, will not know that overweight people have a fast one and slim people have a small. Your metabolism now is in the floor. It's the lowest it's been. You probably burn 90 calories a day breathing. You know, mine's high because I'm heavy. People don't understand the basics, so hiring someone can be invaluable. I had a lady yesterday, shout out, diabetic, the doctor, baffling me. He's told her a set amount of insulin to use. Now, people who don't know, but insulin is secreted by your pancreas as a response to how much your blood glucose rises. So, layman's terms, argument's sake, not scientifically sound, if you produced 80 grams of carbohydrate in your system, your body would produce 8 units of insulin to cope with it. This doctor had her on 80 units of insulin regardless of what she ate. And I said, you realise you'll have a huge blood sugar problem with that, because when I was bodybuilding, I took insulin, didn't take enough carbs. I get dizzy, nearly faint, and I have to overeat. So she was like, well, they've had me on this set amount for time. I said, do you know how much food you would have to eat to catch that much insulin? It should be the opposite. You should be on a diet and they match your diet to your insulin use. Oh, right. And she used something like a pen a day. And I was like, dear God. I said, that's like 800 grams of carbs a day. And she goes, yeah, I have to eat this much pasta, this much this. And I was like, no wonder you're overweight and potentially got blood sugar levels high enough to cause a cancer every day. And she went back to them. They said, oh, well, what it is we don't know what you eat. And I said, what? So they've just given her a bulletproof amount of insulin to use. I said, so how about this? We now choose X amount of insulin per amount of carbs. She's down to 8 IUs of insulin every time, down from 80. Because she was having to eat so much to chase this insulin that, of course, she was getting fat. But this is the problem, because people don't understand what insulin does or what it should be used for. They follow these arbitrary levels, people set them. And the NHS, that girl who tried to get a refund saying, oh, the NHS say you should have 2,000 calories as an average person, piss off and behave. I'm not even answering that one.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing. And people follow these archaic guidelines and get in trouble. Whereas if they just hired a coach and learned a bit, the value would be 10x.
All that value for that woman coming to you, that's just priceless.
Well, you can't have that high blood sugar levels your whole life without, I think it's almost, someone will probably pull me down on this, I think the chance of getting a cancer is 80% when you're obese, let alone having triglycerides in it. She must have constantly high carbohydrate sugar levels. Well, and that's what she said. I have to have this much glucose, this much syrup every day to offset the amount of insulin I have to use. And I was like, you can't be overweight on that much insulin. But well, unfortunately, look at type 1 diabetes. They don't live as long as people. They have eyesight problems, limb problems because of what happens to chronically high blood sugar.
Yeah. But that's for her to come to you and then you just literally clear that up.
Oh, it baffled me. I said to her, this is life-changing. Well, she said, I'll just do it your way. I said, trust me, hire a proper medical professional. They'll tell you the way you've done it is backwards.
Yeah.
It'd be like putting unlimited petrol in a car when you can't afford it and going a mile every day. And the petrol falling out at the same time.
Yeah. When
someone goes, hang on, how far are you going? You go, a mile. And you go, oh, yeah. Here you go, use £10 for it. And you go, oh. And the petrol was killing the car at the same time, slowly. It's amazing. What was another one? This one here. Holidays very early.
Yeah, I think we touched a little bit on that in the beginning, didn't we? Again, it's a case of just commit your time. Commit your time and go, I'm going to throw everything at this for 6, 8, 10 weeks. I think the 10 weeks, you can really evolve over 10 weeks. But be committed. If you're going to be going on an all-inclusive or you're going to go on a spa ones keep popping up and people go, oh, I can't take my own food in. Eat before you go. Yeah. You need to think around the box and that you're committed on this plan. You know, just erase your diary, live like a Buddhist monk, ingrain them habits because you're going to come out a whole new person, probably 2 stone lighter, and you're going to change your habits of a life.
And you'll have much more fun at the spa. And it's like I said to people about holidays, I said, The thing you're going on holiday for is to probably a lot, to escape the fact that you're not happy where you are. Going on holiday when you're in shape will make that. And funny enough, Keely, shout out to Sex Client, Keely did my Botox. She just went on holiday, came back the same way, said, I've never gone on holiday with a flat stomach, enjoyed it so much, and not wanted to binge because I'm not unhappy chasing dopamine from food.
Yeah. I
remember going to Jamaica with Soph in shape. And I went to that buffet and I was like, oh, that looks good, but I don't want to be on the beach without my abs. And that's what kept me strict.
Yeah.
I had a better time people giving me compliments about my physique than I ever did having cake in the morning.
Yeah.
Because like I said to you on our podcast, people don't understand how incredible being in shape feels. It would stop you fixating on all these bullshit things you fixate on.
But even Jenny said that the other day, Ice Jenny.
Yeah.
She went out for her birthday, didn't she? And she was given off plans, but she went, I actually didn't even want to have it.
Yeah.
Didn't actually really want to have it. And she went, this has busted years.
A lot of you crave off-plan food because you're craving dopamine because you're not happy with your life.
Yeah. And
it's the reason in shape people don't tend to binge, because you're not chasing that high from food.
Yeah. And you've broke all them shitty habits, and that is so freeing.
Someone told me they actually tagged in, it's on Jenny's picture, they tagged in a shitty menopause doctor who clearly knows she's giving out bullshit information to get money. And they said, this woman said, have you seen what they write about it? And I was like, this motherfucker's lost, sorry, Tim, to call you motherfucker, has lost 8 stone in a year, feels young. Are you crazy to write that? Because it doesn't fit the narrative that menopause women are so. And one woman said, I'm not listening to a man. I said, most gynecologists are men. Are you telling me a woman doesn't? Like, just because, and I said to her, ironically, I know more about your body scientifically than you do, the same way a female, what's a dick doctor called? Is there a female doctor with balls? Carl, is there a female doctor with balls? I'm just going to say a doctor that deals with males will know more about my willy than I will know, even though she's a female, because she's graded in what a willy is. I just know what it does. So the premise that a male coach can't help a female through menopause or the period because they don't feel it is fucking baffling. And these are all older women. I'm like, yeah. Have you never come across like a female mechanic or like a female football coach? I'm really sorry that gender means you can't have knowledge, but
again, wild, but we're breaking down the stigma with it. But yeah, Jenny went away. She could have ate off plan, and she was like, no, I actually picked sensibly, and I know it's going to make me feel so much better. So proof is in the pudding, literally. In shape people look at things so much more different.
And then that's why I say to people, I'm like, people will say, oh, but this person's lost 6 stone with you, but I'm like, because after the first 4, they understand the process. Like, I've got some clients who, hands down, I'll say, great check-in, no problem with food, no problem with sleep, killed it. They go, yeah, mate, love those chicken sausages, love the fish this week, get better at my squat. And they go, can I stick to the same plan? And I go, I would have said that. And they go, I know it. They don't go, I don't need him now, because there may be another fork in the bone. It's the ones that come new. They go, oh, so I lost 10 pounds. What's the change this week? And I go, and I turn back and say, what was the problem we need to change? And they go, no problem. I'm like, well, for your future when you're not with me, understand that that's the perfect week in fitness. All the stock off the shelves sold. People are phoning up for the same stock. Don't change your stock.
Yeah.
If anything, were you frugal with your operating costs? Can you get the deliveries a bit cheaper? Did you have a member of staff on when you didn't need them? Cut your bottom line first. Is there things you could have even have done better in that week? That's why we have on our new check-in that people aren't following. It's a massive fucking PDF. Please. And it says, what could I have done better? People will go, do you know what, Scott? I didn't quite get the water. I see you lost 4 pounds this week and you were dehydrated. Hunger would have been less. Probably could have trained more. That's a massive, valuable change I've made. Oh, you just told me to drink more water. Yeah, no, that's so crucial.
Yeah. Well, it's a case of, I managed to do 3 press-ups, full press-ups last week. Okay, brilliant. Go 4 this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm running 5K in whatever time. Okay, let's see if we can shave a bit of time off of that because you're a little bit lighter this week.
6 months, you will be incredible. And that's how, I've not dropped my top off lately, but people will ask me now, you're back in shape, what have you done? I said, I did exactly the same training I've done for the last 5 years. Exactly. I've just dieted through it. Because what made my shoulders before made them now. I'm just a smaller version.
Yeah.
My arm training was the same. My leg training today will be the same. I will do leg extensions and leg curls and lunges and squats. I'm just better at them than you, so I've got bigger legs.
Yeah.
But I don't need to go through some esoteric Will Smith, Jada Smith, argumentative, plan with 16 different variables of banded work, And that's the problem, I think, is people don't realise that your PT is conning you with all these changes and these specific things. Woman yesterday, hey Scott, I'm really looking forward to having a bespoke plan to get these legs slimmer. I went, okay, right, so let me tell you, see, welcome pack 1 training. If all those lifts were proficient and you follow the diet, you'll have slim legs. You're not, and to be fair, she took it amazing. She went, oh, so I don't need anything specific. I went, no, like, you're not even 10% through a beginner's journey yet.
Yeah.
I'm not conning you by not giving you anything hard. I'm telling you that when hard comes, you'll fucking know.
Yeah.
I can drill someone to death. There's, like Harry shout out, gave her a plan to this week that was damn hard. A hybrid plan. She was like, fucking, he died. You're ready to nearly die. If I'd have given you that 4 stone ago, you'd have got injured. And by the way, everyone out there, finishing a session, crawling across the floor as a beginner is not smart coaching. That's easy flog you coaching. I hate to watch in gyms. People come off the gym floor, they go, oh my God, I need to pass out. I'm like, well, you won't be able to train hard tomorrow, which means your coach, I didn't periodize your training, was deliberately trying to make you think there's money in being knackered.
Yeah.
And there's not.
No. Stick to the basics, stick to the role.
So what do you think are the top 3 things and problems we face that people may not know they're about to face that we maybe haven't covered? Oh, and again, women stop using steroids is ridiculous.
Walk on Brady.
You've obviously got some. We've got the notes there. Any more Instagrams come through before we wind up?
Just one about like periods and weight loss on period weeks, or how will it fluctuate the scales?
So in your experience, from you and people around you?
Do you know what? It hasn't ever really affected it. It hasn't. I've always had cycles. It's never really affected it. I sometimes get a little bit of water weight, but not. I've been maybe a little bit more fatigued, but I've never not lost on a cycle week.
The way I look at it is this: if you've got 2-3 stone plus to lose, any good deficit will leave you in a negative weight loss space by the end of any period. The women that go, oh, my period adds 5 to 7 pounds on me. No, that was the shitload of sugar and carbs you ate because you were craving. That's osmosis, water retention from the kilos of carbs you ate. That's why most periods will not add that much weight to a normal size human. The problem is people think periods add weight, so they go off plan and they go, oh, Scott, one woman, 252 pounds, 18 stone, 5'6". She could walk every day and lose 6 pounds a week. Sorry, some of you humans, weight loss is quick when you're that size. Oh, it's period week and I didn't lose, but that's to be expected. I went, fuck no. Fuck no. You're on a new training cycle. I've got you 400 calories a day under, and you said you'd have me steps. I'm telling you, I'll sack you if you don't tell me what went wrong. There it went. Sorry, Scott, I craved. Sorry, Scott, I did this. So I said, I know, because even on your period, you would lose 4 pounds.
Yeah.
There's not a human being on earth whose period can cause enough fluid retention that kind of a deficit at that size body won't be able to handle. And we do know it. And the one thing, again, this is one I wanted to bring up. The painful thing is I've had to pull so many clients this year and God look. I am so confident that you're lying. I will sack you today and I will put up with the shit Facebook messages or Instagram messages. And they go, do you know what? I didn't weigh my food. I did snack. I'm like, why not put that and take the consequence of us having to go harder? Or because one woman, Guy did it for so long. He's blessed me, he's back now. And I really actually like the couple. He was lying about his weight from about week 10 to about week 20. And it came to a point where it didn't make sense. And I pulled him. I said, hang on, this is weird. And he was so muddled, he couldn't get back. And he went, actually, week 10, I gained 7 pounds in the week. Yeah. I was trying to get it off. So I was trying to lie about enough weight loss every week that it would kind of make sense. And you asked him to step on the scales. I said, step on the scales, video it, and don't hold on to anything. And he couldn't. And he kept making excuses. And I said, but the easiest thing would have been to say, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between, everyone listening, from struggling to being a knob on plan. I went away and had to have cocktails and pizza because my brother's sister's girlfriend. No, you're not ready for plan. There's a difference between got 2 screaming babies, struggling, overweight, never done this before, husband has let me doing it, had too many rice cakes. That's a difference. Yeah. We can help that. But just know that we know. And how hard do we have to push people to tell the truth?
Yeah, it is painful. It makes your eyes bleed.
Because I say to them, I know. Like, unfortunately, until you're quite lean, most smart coaches know how to get you in a deficit.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when it should be coming off like butter.
Oh, 100%. I said to one woman, she went, yeah, but loss is loss. It's not. If you're Nike and you only made £16 profit last year, profit is not profit. You got a problem. Yeah. If you're a certain weight and you're not losing a certain amount of weight, a loss is not a loss if you're meant to have done better.
Yeah.
And again, higher standard. If you're someone who's very overweight and you're given a plan and someone says you should do better, take it on the chin and go back and say, I didn't weigh my food. Possibly was a bit lazy this week because I am inherently lazy and that's why we're here. I need to butt my ideas up. And we do get people that say to me, they go, I really watched Alanna this morning, you need to be more about how. And I say, message her and ask her how. How do you motivate in the morning? How do you better food prep? How do you deal with 2 kids and 3 businesses, 6 chickens, a dog and a bear? You know, because she'll tell you, don't just lie about it and then not get the result and then...
Yeah. And it's just being dedicated and knowing that for me, it's like I never can go back to that old person.
But let's talk about that quickly. So where people are in their journey, what made you or what makes you... Because people also say, how do you still do it?
I think because I've got a love for the new me. I can never go back to that old me. And I feel like the last 4 years, I'm living, you know, to lose 20 years to addiction. I didn't actually realise how bad it had got till I had the breakdown. And then it was just like, I actually got control of my life. And I like the new person that I am. I like the new mum that I bring to my kids. I like the new me that I'm bringing to my husband. And I really like myself now. And that is my driving force every day. And I don't look as exercise as the enemy or being on food that makes me feel good, that makes me healthy. It's just a win-win. And it's like finding God. I love the freedom that my new life has brought me. And it isn't a chore anymore. Don't get me wrong. There are days and I think, oh my God, that alarm's gone off at 5. But it's a case of, if I don't get up and train then, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's get up and do it before we start the rat race. And again, it helps with the ADHD. It helps with my anxiety.
So do you think people don't realise, even though you do look this specimen of a human, that it is still hard for you, that you still do, you know, that just because we do it a lot, that it is still a struggle?
They probably don't, but and it is. It can be them days that alarm goes off and I think, oh my God, I've struggled today. Just get on. And then once I'm up on that treadmill, you're in it then. You're doing it. You know, not every workout's going to be a brilliant workout. Like I said this the other day. I was like, I might do a workout and go, that was crap. And then you'll just get one good one. And I think, yeah, that's a good one. You know, and it's just that monotony. You just got to just keep doing it. You've got to do it when you're happy. You've got to do it when you're sad. You just got to do it. And for me, it's like training every day is my freedom. And it is just ingraining it in me. It's like breathing. I couldn't imagine, you know, we're going away soon. I would train every day on holiday.
That thing, people say, oh, how do you turn holiday? I'm like, I love to train.
Yeah.
Like, I go on holiday and tell my family, I'm like, I'm going gym. My daughter, I'm like, do you want breakfast? No, I'm going gym because I love to lift. I love it. Why wouldn't I? Holiday is just another location for me. I'm lucky. I've tirelessly dedicated my life to having the life I want, but it's still a case of I love it. It's not a chore. And to be fair, I've said this to people. They go, when will exercise get easier? I'm like, oddly, the better you get, the more you want the harder sessions. You want to, make me puke when I'm training legs. Let me do a hit till I need a bin. You actually will go the other way.
Yeah.
You won't want the easy sessions. You know, Carla, our videographer, weightlifts, phenomenal. That shit grinds you down hard, but you've got to love the feeling of a heavyweight flying above your head.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. That's the thrill. You know, will the squat crush me or better hurt your back? Yeah, I wake up from some leg sessions thinking, is my arthritis kicking off? But if it isn't, I'll just go a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And we don't find it easy.
No, we don't. But I like the freedom that it gives me. I love the freedom that it gives me. And I love that my mental health is at its best. Oh, that for me, to not have to go on that medication anymore. And it pains me when I hear of people that are getting put on that medication. And I look at a lot of people and think, you're never getting out of that rat race.
100%. And that's why I am so passionate about drilling down the rules and the authentic accountability, because I'm around people and I am lucky that a lot of people around me let me help them my way. Life is fucking horrible if you're in that zone, that place where you know, I've done it. Everything I'm about to say, I've done, apart from I've never had mental health problems. You fucked your finances, you fucked your friendships, you've hurt your body, you're out of shape, you know, you're injured, not out of shape, but the injured bit massively. You know, I don't want people to wake up with kids and family in the future thinking that's going to be the norm. Yeah. Kirsty wrote the post, you know, I remember when I first spoke to her, it can't be nice to feel that lost. And when people push back, especially against you, because I say this to people, I don't see a lot of it because you do a lot of it, but I think to myself, don't you see her and think, wow, the workout may be hard, but then she looks at herself in the mirror and now, you know, she's got a top on, but you'll see it off on Instagram. And however hard the workout is, she turns around to that. And people say, how do you work 7 days a week? I'm like, because you don't know what that's afforded me. Even though I hate getting up at early and I work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. The reverse was sleeping in my car, sofa surfing. I would never go back to that. And I refer to it, and my wife will tell you, I always, regardless of what car, but I say, when we were in New York recently, I was like, I shouldn't really be here. This wasn't in the stars. And I think people don't realize that the journey we're trying to take them on is because we're so passionate about where we are.
And we've been humbled.
Yeah, 100%.
So it is a case of, you've had that. I lost everything having that breakdown. Lots of debt, lost my career, could have lost my husband and my kids, and it could have ended in suicide. And to me now, it's like, no matter what goes on, go and do that training session. And I feel grateful that I can go and do that training session. Whether it's hard or I don't really fancy it, or it's mad. But the exercise and the diet just keeps me aligned and just, it's just everything to me.
I think people don't realise that, and I can't until the event happens speak about things I've gone through at the time, because certain people are young and they don't know certain things about certain things, but I know it's a bit cryptic, but the only thing that got me through those was my dedication to fitness and health. That one training session would put my serotonin back on top and allow me to do the walk or figure my shit out. And I think people don't realise that not being in shape is the key to a lot of their sorrow.
Yeah.
You'd leave your husband quicker if you looked shit hot and felt shit hot and could do a lot of things in an orchestrated way.
Yeah.
You would leave your wife who's possessive if you didn't have the belly and you weren't worried about finding a new partner and you didn't think you look after the kids on your own. You'd boss looking after the kids on your own if you listened to us and you were routine and detailed as we are.
Yeah.
I think when you're in shape and you have habits and you tick boxes, you're not scared of a thing.
Yeah. I think I feel pretty bulletproof with everything, and I know that you do as well. It's I think more people should push it out there with what it does bring to them, not just from an aesthetic perspective.
No, but then I said this to people, people look at the jack the lad, the jack the girl in shape. I don't know what the phrase is for a girl. And they go, why is she so cocky? I'm like, because when you wake up in shape, your dopamine and serotonin, obviously there are people with mental health problems who are in shape, but again, it's a small percentage. I know thousands of fit pros and none of them have mental health problems. If they do, they offset it with the gym. You don't realise what it brings you.
Yeah.
I think, rest in peace, one of my best friends who died last year sent me a picture, which I always share, and it said it's a bird, or it says the bird is not scared of the branch breaking, it has faith in its wings. And I've always said this, I said, my brand makes you bulletproof to the wind and the branches. If the branches break, you've got wings.
Yeah.
That's why I think people push back, because they'll tell us these menial problems and we'll go, someone said to me, how did you lose weight when you were in the hospital? I said, I went there fasted, and if I couldn't get food with me, I just stayed hungry all day and drank coffee. Oh, I couldn't, well, maybe try. I lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks when Fox was in the hospital. Best part of that, because I didn't have time to eat. Oh, when you're hungry? Yeah, but I'm a fucking adult. If you can't deal with hunger as an adult, you can't deal. And I think the Quran says it. Having discipline over your food and your hunger is the first link to God. Which is why they fast for Ramadan, because not having food, not having water forces you to think about other things. And I agree with that side of it completely.
Yeah.
If your child's in the hospital, your husband is, and you can't fast and drink coffee or water, then you've got a shitload of mental dexterity to build. Because it's easy.
Yeah, completely.
And I'm one of these people, I go, if I'm not eating, I'm burning fat.
Tuned in.
Yeah, but I just think you realise that, I'm hungry, the hunger's gone now. All right. Didn't die. Oh, I felt faint, sit the fuck down. Passes in minutes.
Yeah.
Didn't need to, my friend gave me a marathon bar, and a marathon bar, you run around the block. No, you just felt faint for a minute, calm down. But it's that narrative, I need to eat something. No, you don't. It's because you're metabolically unflexible. That's why you've got a shitload of body fat your body can't use. You could do with not eating for a bit. Yeah. Force your body to use that fat.
Yeah, completely.
And I think that's the thing. People look at you and they see the amount, and they don't see the amount you do behind the scenes as well. And I think people don't realise that it's the fact that you're underpinned by all these habits. That you had to be dragged through for some. My dad had to drag me through many of my habits. People see this finished form. I wasn't. I had to be dragged through too, which is why I know how to drag people through. Yeah.
And this is why you're so valuable. So get with a coach that knows his shit and walk the walk. And that,
I think this isn't all about you, and this is why I brought you on. I think people need to listen to you, because not only do you learn from me, not only do you have your own life to learn from, but you know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me when I say to people, what did Alanna say? And they say, she said this. I'm like, well, why don't you do it? It's a weird thing, the amount of people who push back and they're not in a position to push back is a lack of self-awareness that I hope I never feel. That I can, to a certain extent, work with them and understand the fact that people are scared, and the woman who's got the business and she's 48 and she is her husband's keeper, doesn't like being told by people she didn't read. But at the end of the day, you didn't read something you should have read, something you were told to read. That is a failing. Take it on the chin, move on. I love the people who go, oh my God, Scott, can't believe I missed that. I'm one of the people who talk about, I'm like, yeah, but they go, I won't do it again. That's the appropriate response. They all went through they're the same welcome back, the same MyFitnessPal sheets, the same liaison. If they did it, why can't you?
Yeah.
And I do believe a lot of it is I talked about a lot of it is people need to get out of their own way. You're the problem. You chose the guy, you spent the money, you didn't read the form, you made the decision, own it, like Jacko Willing says, it's my fault. Well, however it looks, it's your fault. If it's your fault, you can do better. So Alanna's about 2 weeks out from the show, so we need to wrap this up before she eats herself. We've done about 3 weeks already. Thank you for coming. We will do more, because I think these ones people are going to listen to and see the Q&A style more than the biopic on the biography side. I think they'll get more up, because obviously we're trying to, again, get people out of their own way.
Yeah, completely. I think it's going to be very valuable, and hopefully loads of people will read the packs. Come with an open mind.
Let's try to get an easier life.
Give me an easy 2 weeks.
Expensive podcast to you. But if it helps, again, the opportunity cost is we'll have an easier life, and more people can join and more people can get the result they need. So you'll probably see more of Alanna on our page. I Know a Fat Lost Girl. And yeah, stay in touch, stay blessed, and stay accountable.